Hi, my name is Filipa. Welcome to my channel, Awkward the Talk, where I give parents the confidence to provide sexual education for their children by answering all their awkward questions from sex, sexuality, relationships, emotions, and everything in between. Today's topic is why should we name all body parts, including the genitals, with their proper names? Put down in the comments what your childhood nickname for genitals is. For me, I have a very interesting experience with this because the name that was given in my family to vulvas was not used in, I don't know anybody else who used it. So it was very confusing and strange to find out that other people called this body part something else, and then to go to school and to know that it actually had a whole different name that nobody was talking about. So when parents ask me, why should we be naming the genitals? They're so young. My question is, why not? Like, we tell kids that an eye is an eye, and we're not saying that it is a seeing little, I don't know, like we are telling them that these are eyes, and we're telling them these are mouths and hair and all these other body parts have their proper names. So it is telling to children that we are giving nicknames to these body parts, because a lot of our communication, a lot of our sexual education to our children is actually nonverbal. Children, even if parents say, oh, I never give sexual education because I don't want to start that process, by not starting it, by not talking about it, you're already saying something about it. So you are always educating your children about the topic, even if it is through silence. You're already giving them a message that this is maybe something we shouldn't talk about. So food for thought. So when we are giving different names to the genitals, there is also when they find out that these body parts have different names, there is a little bit of a broken trust there, because sometimes children feel like they were lied to, or they understand that there is something wrong with these body parts, and that's why they have like a cute cuddly name. So that's one reason. The other is how we talk about these body parts. Like, what is the tone the tone in our voice? Do we talk about these body parts in a negative way? For example, what we're trying to do here is to talk positively about the whole body, and this is how we create a positive body image. It's not that the positive body image is just like up to here, and then we don't talk about these parts and then the rest, right? Positive body image is how we feel about ourselves as a whole, and not just parts of ourselves. So a lot of adults that I work with have a lot of guilt and shame and negative feelings towards their genitals because of the way their parents talk to them about it, how they were dirty and smelly and nobody could look at them, and they should be hidden away and they shouldn't be touched, and all these messages are kept in children's little minds and little hearts, and they carry these notions into adolescence, very an age of turmoil, internal turmoil, and then into adulthood as well, and this affects how they relate to themselves and how they relate to others. And I even know of people who have certain sexual dysfunctions that go back to the way that parents spoke about their bodies and their body parts. So I would suggest that you explain to your child what all the body parts are and how wonderful they all are equally, and how each and every part of our body has a function and a purpose. And here parents sometimes get a little bit like, oh, we're gonna talk about sex now, I don't want to. But this is such an adult way of looking at the body, you know. Genitals are not just for sex, right? Most of the time that we use our genitals, we're not having sex with them. We are urinating, we are menstruating, and we are pooping. And so like these are things that children should know about, and they should be explained as just any other part of their being, right? So for example, if your child asks, you know, about the penis, you can just say, oh, you know, you're bathing them if they're very small, and you explain, oh, you know, this is your little face, and these are your little hands, and this is your little penis. And if you use a nickname for it, I would suggest that you interchange between nickname and appropriate name, right? If it makes you feel more comfortable, right? It's really up to you, but they have to know the actual name, right? This is what is important. And you explain to them that how to take care of these body parts and what they are for. So, you know, this is your penis, and you use it for peeing, and these are your testicles, and you have to wash them with care, and you have to be gentle because these are very sensitive parts of the body, and this is how you should wash them, and this is how you should dry them. And we even have this special clothing that is just for them called underpants or knickers or whatever you call it, right? With the girl as well. So here you want to be explaining that girls have vulvas and not just vaginas, because vulva is the whole organ, right? And the vagina is the whole, right? And you explain that in their vulva they have two holes. One of them is the vagina, where babies come out of, you know, when they grow up, and if they decide to have a baby, that is one of the places where the baby can come out of, and that's also where the period comes out of, depending on the age, right? And then you say that there's this other tiny little hole called the urethra, where the pee comes out of, right? If they're very small, you just say that they have a vulva, and that's you know, that's it. And you want to be talking about it in a positive and light-hearted way, the same way you would explain to them that you know, their little mouths are for talking and for eating, and children will be really satisfied with those explanations, which are correct explanations. It is us adults who a lot of the time create the challenges in communication because of our own preconceived ideas, because of our own trauma and our own experiences. We just need to be aware of that and how that will affect how we bring up children. For example, there's also the butthole, the anus. You know, kids will ask about it because, especially when they're about 2 years old, they're fascinated with poop. It is Freud called it the anal stage, right? So this is when kids find out that they learn how they can contract and release their sphincters, and that they can control pooping. And kids a lot of the time look at their poop with extreme fascination, and they will call you to come see it. And you know, so what to say in those situations? You know, you can tell them what poop is. That we eat food so that we become stronger, and we grow up, and that whatever the body doesn't take in or absorb for this growth to take place, that it is just expelled, that is just given up by the body through in the form of poop through their anus, their butthole. And that is just such a simple explanation, and is just, you know, something so simple that your kids will understand, and they will not feel like it is something particularly dirty unless you tell them it is. So this, well, since we're here, this fascination about poop is very common for young children. And here I would advise you not to shame your kids about it, because they will call you to come see their poop. A little bit like how your cat will kill a mouse and bring it home to show you and be proud of it. So a lot of people say that to kids, their poop is like their first work of art, their first creation, and that is why they're so excited about it. There's nothing wrong with them. It is just part of their natural development, and it is a sign of a healthy sexual development as well. So I would advise you not to say things like, "Oh, you're so stinky," and "Let's change that diaper because you're dirty." No, how about we rephrase that and we say, "Let's change that diaper so you feel more comfortable and you are cleaner." And and you explain about hygiene and health, and this is how you pass a good and positive body image, so that your kids don't feel that something that comes out of their body is disgusting, right? So this is a tiny brick in the wall that they are building of their self-confidence and their body positivity. So if your child shows you their poop, I don't know, tell them that it is a big magnificent poop, and that's it. You don't have to let them play with it or do anything disgusting with it, but acknowledge that it is something that they have done. And I have also heard of kids who like to say goodbye to their poop when they're potty trained and they finally poop in the toilets, and they say goodbye to their poop, and it's a healthy relationship with the body and what comes out of it, right? So it is also crucial to build a positive body image. It is to name all the body parts and explain the wonder that the body is all together with all its parts, and how each body part has a function. And this if you explain this to children, they will also learn that their body is magical and special. And this is really what we want to bring home, is for children to understand that their bodies are important, and that their bodies are to be kept, and how to take care of their bodies and how they should value them. And this is also maybe a time that you want to talk about different types of bodies, and not only that you are a boy so you have a penis, but this is a good time to also say you're a boy so you have a penis. And if they have never seen you mommy naked and asked you about your bits, then this is a good time to also, there's so many resources out there like for children that show the human body, and you can explain to them, you're a boy so you have this, and girls have this thing called a vulva and it looks like this. And I mean, like, we're talking about these diagrams, and it's just a question of just of children understanding differences as well. I have been asked by a parent that the girls wanted to see their vulvas, because when we look down we can't really see what's going on there. And it is perfectly okay for you to show your baby girl what their own body looks like by giving them a mirror. This is perfectly fine. And you can do this by drawing your child in front of the mirror and telling them, or getting them to tell you what every single body part is and what they do, for example. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you understand the importance of naming body parts correctly. Body image, positive body image, being one of the biggest takeaways that I get from rightly naming. So thank you.